G'day humans, Chris Dead here. I'm on the road. Today I'm at Umana Bali, which is part of Hilton's LXR Hotels and Resorts. In this video I'm going to give you a full review and walkthrough of everything this place has to offer. Let's go. So you'll find Umana Bali in Uluwatu, right on that kind of southern edge of the island. And yeah, it'll take you about 45 minutes or so from the airport. It was actually a little bit of a drive out here. It's a very cool drive. I've never actually been this far south of Nusa Dua before, and it kind of gets really almost rural in parts. This is an experience that's pretty much all villa based. I think it is all villa based. Huge villas as you're about to see when we get inside into Umana Bali proper, and they're really focused here on that combination of luxury and Balinese culture, kind of really grasping into that harmony between people, nature, and the divine. And you'll see that in the architecture, you'll see it in some of the cuisine and some of the experiences, and there's also a pretty hefty wellness experience here as well. Now, it is set up for families. They've got a big kids club I'm going to show you. There's kid-friendly areas in the pool, kid stuff on the menus, but it definitely seems to be more aimed towards couples from what I've seen. As we go through the tour, you'll see it all for yourself. Now, as usual, I like to start at the front of my big reviews of these wonderful places to stay, give you a bit of a lay of the land, and in this particular instance, it's a bit more pertinent, as I'll explain in a second. So here's the entrance up into Umana Bali, and we'll be up there in a second, but at the exit here, you've got a road that curves down. This is a steep decline, as you can see, winds its way down to Melasti Beach, which has down there a range of experiences. And I went down there. They've got a big, well, you can go down there on shuttle. There's a shuttle that leaves once an hour from up at the reception, which I'll show you in a second. I can drive you down there. Or you can walk down about 15 minutes. It's better to walk down and up, I'll tell you now, because it is quite steep all the way down. Now, what did I do down there? There is a big fire dance experience that you can go to. Really quite different to any of the others I've done before, in particular in Ubud, and right overlooking at the ocean, and it was much more interactive. So that was one of the experiences. There's a couple of experiences you can do through Umana Bali, and I'm going to take you through a whole bunch of them. That fire dance experience is one of them. And also down there is the Beach House, and that is it's tied to the Umana Bali, and it's a place that you can eat. It's also like an infinity pool, beach club experience, house music, big sun lounges right on the sand. Okay, so just starting at the far side of the venue here, it's got a big lineup of really comfortable sun lounges, and look at this extraordinary building. Just opens up and fans right out to the waves in the ocean. It looks glorious. Doesn't it look great at night? So we're going on a quick tour. So we've got a range of pools here. As you can see. And it's got a shallow little kid area here. Kid just knocked over a glass, by the way. And then infinity pool right out over the waves. The kiddie pool, shallow pool, adult pool by the looks of it. And then range of seating. So we've got lounges seating out here. Like so. And then a couple of table and chairs, more traditional table chairs here with an open kitchen, which is cool. Some meals. A little ice cream thing here by the looks of it. Lohma Beach House ice cream. Yeah, so a lot of people are eating at their beach chairs. The bar up here, that's hopefully my cocktail being produced right now. This is a cool, fun table, isn't it? And then the pool reaches right round to the far side over here. There's a couch down there. And then they've got, I wonder if they do DJ sets or something in there. But then they've got even more sun lounges over here and then some cabanas at the back. So not a bad setup, right? I've just got a good look at the menu here. So they've got a couple of salads. They've got a whole bunch of sharing plates, a seafood platter. I was pretty tempted to go to seafood platter. I usually do go to seafood platter, but in the end I couldn't quite work out whether or not the 3-course meal that I've got is includes the sharing plates, because it wouldn't make sense that it did to me, but the guy seemed to think it did, but at least trying to cause trouble. So anyway, I've just gone for a shrimp sriracha for a starter, just a piece of steak for the main, and a caramel pudding for dessert. So that's going to be pretty interesting, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good menu, decent range, no burgers, which I thought might have been something that a beach club could do with. We've also got a range of signature cocktails here as well, for which I went for the Coral of the Bay, which sounds really interesting. It's got an interesting mix, like an apricot brandy with vodka and some spiced syrup as well. So don't know what it's going to be like. I'm going to give it a go and see what it's like. The staff seem lovely. Nice big sea breeze coming up, which is really helping me stay chill. And I didn't even think about the fact that I should have brought my swimmers down here, you know. It's really been good, a nice place to hang for a while. Oh, no way. Should see the meal that's just come past there. That's the seafood platter. Wow! Should have gone to seafood platter. Okay, here we have my Coral by the Bay signature cocktail at Uluwatu Beach House. Let's have a go. Unfortunately, I've got to be honest, and I'm not one for this cocktail. It's just so watery. Can't taste any booze at all, and it's got no flavour. It's just, bad choice in the end. I'd avoid this one if you decide to get a cocktail. Okay, the starter has arrived. Shrimp sriracha. It looks like a nice healthy serving, doesn't it? Oh, it looks good. I'm hungry. Okay, so quite nice. It comes with some I think it's zucchini fritters or something. And then it comes with a sauce, which is like a seafoody mayo sauce with a bit of spice and a bit of a kick. Not too bad, not too heavy. Really healthy serving. It's quite nice actually, so that's good news. Also good news, I love the house. It's great. Hopefully I don't have to dub this because I get copyright pinged. But the music's been really funky since we got here. It's been really good. Bad news, they didn't clean the table before I got here. It was kind of quite used from the last guest, and they just sat me down without cleaning it. So that I think is worth a mention. That wasn't a good call. I do wonder if they're understaffed. Doesn't feel like there's much staff for the amount of people here, so maybe that's the reason. Yummy, food's yummy. Okay, the steak has arrived. It looks fantastic. Wonderfully presented. Not a huge amount of meat, but I think it'll be quite filling. And some garnish, some wedges, a few vegetables, and we've got some sauce in here as well. They didn't ask me what sauce I wanted, which it wasn't a choice. It does look fantastic, doesn't it? So the steak's not bad. It's definitely not amazing, but it's not bad. It's a little more on the chewy side. It hasn't kind of got that super tender, melt in your mouth experience at all, but they cooked it exactly how I wanted it. So it's okay. It's just not amazing. The vegetables and the wedges are nice. The sauce has a bit of a spicy, peppercorny taste to it, so it's not bad. It won't be for everyone. The salt, unfortunately, only comes, which wasn't here, I had to ask for it, only comes on a teaspoon like this, which you can't, and it's all clumpy because it's, we're right next to the ocean, so they needed to put that in a shaker because you can't get it off without putting your fingers in it, which I don't want to do. Definitely nice. I've noticed that there's a lot of stuff that wasn't getting cleaned up. So everywhere, maybe there was a huge departure just before I got here, but actually it probably was because the shuttle bus from Umana is only once an hour. Which I didn't point out until I sat down, and I was like, I'm going to have to rush this meal. So I got here at 7:01, so maybe a whole bunch of people left. It's taken them about half an hour there's quite a lot of empty plates and bottles around. It's just starting to get to it now. So I do think they might be understaffed, and I think there probably is a rush hour where everybody leaves and then people arrive at exactly the same time, right? It drops off, everyone gets off and everyone gets on. So they probably struggle to deal with that transition. I'm enjoying the food though. I love the setting. Okay, desserts just arrived. My caramel pudding. It looks, again, the presentation's fantastic. Looks delicious. Again, really good, really tasty. Again, a big portion size, and this one's delicious. Really strong with the flavour, nice texture. I really like the dessert. Yeah, so overall, I think they've built a beautiful venue here. Just such a great place to hang and be, and to peace out. I wish I didn't have to rush the meal to make the shuttle better. Now, another one of the experiences they offer is a village walk. So we left at 7 o'clock. Oh, look at that, there's a monkey up there. Saying hello. There's quite a few around outside the resort. I haven't seen any in the resort, although they do let you know not to leave anything out on your balcony area, because it might not be there when you get back because of the natives, wildlife. Now, we went on this really cool village walk at 7 a.m. this morning with a local guide. So he was born and raised in the area, and we actually went up that little path there and we came back that way 6 kilometres later. It was really great. We learnt a lot about the area, asked a lot of questions. He was happy to answer them. He was a really friendly bloke. We went and had a look at someone's house. So we went to someone's house and they made us a Balinese breakfast to enjoy. They spoke us how they build the houses, and how there's some really interesting stuff I've never heard of before, actually, including the fact that, you know, in these older towns there's one central family house that has all the temples and shrines in it, and then there's all the kind of houses that people buy around the outside, and then whenever they have a big family events, weddings, funerals, anything like that, it all happens at that one central house. And we also then went down to a local market, went through the local market. I bought some bits and pieces actually, and then we also went to the local cemetery and just did a big tour around all these winding streets and through all the kind of like labyrinth really of roads that make up the village. We go past cows and chickens and pigs and dogs and cats and monkeys. It was really cool, really good experience. So that's something you can do as part of your Umana Bali experience, and I highly recommend it. It was great. All right, so I've got our monkey friend up here. He's been watching on. Where's he gone? He's over there. There he is, looking at me. Hello, can you wave? All right, let's head up to the lobby. Okay, so there's the main entrance, or security guard entrance anyway. You're going to see a lot of these driving around. It's quite the sprawling stay, this one. The way, like, when you see the villa size, you'll understand why. Every villa is so humongous. Like, it's bigger than a lot of people's houses. And it kind of weaves its way all the way down to the cliff. It probably drops about a good 100, 150 metres as it weaves its way down. Really gorgeous tree at the entrance. Now, you will see a bit of construction over here. Now, apparently that's stalled and is no longer being developed because it was illegal, apparently. So I was told anyway. And there's another monkey down there. There's another monkey over there too. And yeah, so there hasn't been any construction noise at all while I've been here. I don't think you'd hear it from down the villas. Maybe these ones right on the edge here, even if there was, because it disappears down outside the hill. There's also a lot of staff hard at work with the gardening, as you'll see as we walk through. The place has been immaculately well kept. There's a lot of guys been hard at work all day. Hello. Hello. Yeah, so I'm not going to do my usual classic walkthrough that I do with all my other videos if you're familiar with my channel, simply because it doesn't make much sense in this case. A lot of the winding paths that go everywhere just kind of go to more of the same, just villa after villa after villa. So I'm going to jump around a little bit, but here's your entrance and your lobby. When I first arrived, they gave me a bracelet, frangipani behind the ear, a lovely welcome drink and a little nibble, which are both very nice. I'll talk you through a little bit of the philosophy and why they're doing it as well, to kind of immerse you in the experience. And before we just go up there, I'll just point out that just down there is the spa and the fitness centre and everything, so I'm going to take you down there and have a quick look at that, and then we'll go into the reception. So here we are just down from the main reception, and this is the Lohma Spa. And it's not just that, the fitness centre, all the relaxation and wellness stuff, another pool, they're all here. So let's go have a look at the Lohma Spa experience, and I'll take you through everything that's also in this corner of the building. Okay, well I've just come out of a 2-hour experience here at the Lohma Spa, and I feel absolutely fantastic. It was great, one of the best spa experiences I've ever had actually. Obviously before that, I'd come into the lobby, they provided a drink for me, and which was really, really yummy, a ginger drink. And I'd also, it wasn't a very detailed form. Like sometimes you come to massages and yeah, there's so much stuff they want you to fill out beforehand. You know, like your entire medical history. Didn't choose any oils or anything like that. Even though they kind of had a selection there that you could choose from, so maybe a different treatment does do that. But yeah, it was just, yeah, really kind of straightforward. Went down, did Indonesian, down to the treatment room that is. So it was 2 parts to it. The first hour was the Balinese Boreh, and then the second part was like a traditional Balinese massage. So the Boreh bit's really interesting. So the Lohma name actually ties into, it's kind of a local phrase for like medicine. It ties into the concept of medicine. And the Boreh is something that the locals used to use, or still use, whenever they want to either prevent flu or they're already sick, they've got a fever, something like that. And it's to increase kind of blood circulation and kind of, I think, control the temperature a bit. So it's a whole mix of these, a range of herbs like ginger and so forth that they put together into like a powder, almost like a mud powder. It feels like mud with kind of grains of sand through it, but it's this herbal mix. And then they rub it into your body, like paste it onto your body. It's kind of like a pseudo massage. It's not pressure like a massage, but it feels really fine. It feels great putting it on. But some people apparently find the aroma too strong. I didn't find the aroma too strong at all. I thought it was fine. No, that's what she was just saying to me. Yeah, and each of the treatment rooms are named after the different herbs. So there's like, I don't know, probably 8 different treatment rooms. As you look through them, I don't know if I see the names of them anywhere. They're all the kind of different herbs that are in this Balinese Boreh. And yeah, so they kind of coat your whole body in that, and then it like kind of hardens and dries on you. So then they wrap you up in like the sheets, like you're in a kind of like a cocoon, right? And then massage your head. Now I don't know how long she was massaging my head for. It felt like quite a while. It's an hour-long process, but effectively until I basically passed out. At some point I kind of realised, oh, she's not massaging my head anymore, but I never felt to leave. So the whole experience from top to bottom, that was the first experience. Then rinsed all that off, had a shower, kind of rinsed it all off, and there was like all this kind of muddy looking stuff at the bottom of the shower. And then lay back down, then had the massage, which was a traditional Balinese massage, but it was really good. I asked for strong pressure, I got strong pressure. She reasonably, quite quickly found my usual troubled areas, namely my shoulder blades here. They were a whole lot of tension, and really tried to work on those. A bit painful at times, but you know, I'd asked for that. So she was really trying to work it out for me, which was great. And yeah, top to tail, feel fantastic. She was really, really lovely and awesome. The whole thing was super professional. Really rated it. Really, really great experience. So I highly recommend the Lohma Spa. And yeah, I'd never done obviously anything like that Balinese Boreh before, and yeah, I wasn't skeptical. I just didn't know what to expect, and yeah, really enjoyed it. So well worth a nudge, absolutely. So it's kind of like a pagoda style situation. So you got the spa reception up the top 3rd floor. You drop down to a whole bunch of treatment rooms, and then down here on the bottom floor, you've got your yoga pavilion, fitness centre, a big relaxation pool, kind of lap pool, They've also got this nappers, which doesn't really come up too much, but that's actually a relaxation room, but also has cold and hot plunges and a sauna. So let's go down and have a look at all those. So right down the bottom here, in this really sprawling complex, we have a few spaces. So here's the fitness centre. Let's have a look in here. Oh, can't tell you how instantly nice and cool it is. Alright, so up here, they're actually doing a little bit of maintenance at the moment, but we've got that's a pretty impressive rack, isn't it? Jeez, that came out terribly. It's just holding the balls and so forth. Huge range of free weights here. I love it, there's a TV you can look at. See the rope down the bottom, some mats obviously hanging up with the red mats, and just a seat, a 45-degree angle seat. Interesting two-tier design here. Got a weights machine there, free weights. Coming down the ramp. We have a few more machines and some cardio. A really large gym with a lot of space in here, isn't there? Enough space to have far more equipment, really. But I do like having the space in the gym so you can do stretches and so forth. Okay, so we've just got a handful of cardio machines, and really not much considering the volume of villas here. Having said that, no one's here. And a couple more weight machines down the bottom. So that's potentially the only downside, is that it really isn't too much cardio, and cardio is usually the first to fill up. But it's nice and cool. There's a bit of an outlook out to the pool and the water down here, so it's glass to a floor to ceiling glass. There's a nice addition, and some mirrors. And mirrors over here as well. Some water, fruit and towels. Clean cold water, which is good. Alright, let's have a look inside the gym. Let's go have a look at that pool. Now, directly opposite the fitness centre, we have the Yoga Pavilion. Taking a quick look in here. Ditch the thongs. So mats and towels laid out. Spot for the master. The air conditioning is not in here at the moment. It's very, very hot. I'm assuming that they turn that on before the sessions. So I am doing yoga tomorrow morning. Let's jump to that. So I've just come up from the yoga session down in the Yoga Pavilion. 7:30 session. Pretty simple, like definitely not overdone it. You don't need to be a yoga maestro or have done heaps of yoga to be able to really enjoy it. Definitely feel a bit better. It's amazing where your mind wanders. But I really enjoyed it, especially the sound healing bit towards the end. It's just so relaxing. And I will say it's a little bit of a shame that the room's not soundproofed. Like at the start it was torrential rain. It was actually really nice to hear it, so to be fair. But then afterwards a gardener came and was just sweeping all the stairs of leaves right outside the room. Just took away a little bit of it. But it was still really good, and really happy I did it. So here's a quick look at some of the fitness classes you can do. So they've got private classes and they've got group classes. So they've got mat Pilates, aqua aerobics, aqua yoga, and functional training. The prices are significant. $850,000 for Pilates for a private class, where you can do a group one for $1,500 with up to 10 people, but you need at least 5 to start. So you could, I guess, do it for $300,000 if you have 5 of you who sign up, but if you don't sign up, then you're stuck with the private or nothing. And just down from the Yoga Pavilion, you have another pool. So this is another public pool, obviously, on top of the one that we've got up the top, at the main hub area. And yeah, it obviously doesn't have the same infinity view, but it is going to be a lot more tucked away from the kids if privacy is a bit of your jam. We've just come out of the session in the gym and you just want to swim a few laps. It's definitely long enough to do laps, for sure. So I actually didn't realise this was here at first, so I'm glad there's a second pool. Such things. An interesting bird up there somewhere. Oh, right here. And just the one solitary cabana. No sun lounges. Here we have the Nagas Relaxation and Wellness Room. It's just opposite the fitness centre. A couple of lounges to sit on. Very cool, nice music. And hot and cold area. So we've got a plunge pool here. More on the other side. And in the middle, sauna. It's not currently on. Calling me. And the heated stones. There's a nice space buried down here. Sauna room rules. Okay, and like I said, here go another one of these blokes. You can see all the carts. So pretty much no matter where you are, you can just make a quick call, or someone will make a quick call on your behalf, or you can connect to your butler because you have someone who is your kind of personal butler on WhatsApp, and just say, hey, I need a lift. And they'll be there in a jiffy, or someone will be there in a jiffy to pick you up, take you up, down, left, right, wherever you want to go. Hello. Alright, let's head in. This gong rings out when you first arrive as well. Nice big dragons. Now I think this lobby area is absolutely gorgeous. Fortunately, the last, I don't know, I guess 36 hours of my stay, the weather is not looking good, including this afternoon. So when I first got here, it was just super sunny and beautiful as you looked out here. Love the sunken chairs and the instant sea breeze that hits you every single day. It's been blowing straight off the ocean, keeping things relatively cool as much as you can in Bali. Love this lattice on the roof. You're going to see this kind of blend of like, yeah, the luxury and the traditional Balinese throughout the whole entire walk, especially in the architecture and the statues and the art and the connection between elements such as this and the roof here, music in the background. It all ties together to create a beautiful experience. It's a very, very gorgeous stay, this one. There's plenty to like, a hell of a lot more to like than there isn't. Now, one of the things they were telling me is that there's usually a massive chandelier here, and it had a massive, massive storm come through, and because this is not, you can't close this off obviously, the wind came ripping through here and tore it off, and it was a custom-made bespoke job from, what did he say? I think he said Switzerland? Somewhere over in Europe, and so it's had to be shipped off to be redone. So hopefully by the time you get here, that beautiful chandelier, because I'm sure it's beautiful based on the others I've seen, will be back in action. So you got your reception over there, there's a small check-in, check it out. That's an office actually over there, I think that's their main office. Maybe some guest services. And yeah, look, it's not air conditioned cool in here, but the breeze does keep the temperature down. And like everything in this place, just super high quality cushions, couches, finishings, plant life, as you can see. All right, now they've kept this pretty modest, I guess, in terms of size. Some of the Nusa Dua entrances are so opulent, it's unbelievable. But this is the Mer Lounge, Mer Bar, M-E-R, there we go, it's Mer Lounge. And some of the other experiences you can do are up here. include a wine tasting experience and also a coffee tasting experience, both of which I've done. So let's go have a look at those. So here we are in the wine room for the wine tasting. Lovely little room. Big piece of wood they've set up here, looks fantastic. With, they thought it was two of us. Some nibbles and some fruit, some cheese, looks great. And you can see here 4 different glasses. And a little setup here. Some local wines, looking forward to this. Love a good wine tasting. So our wine tasting experience is over. It's about half an hour. Felt like I probably could have gone for a bit longer. Maybe done 6 bottles of wine instead of 4. But I still really enjoyed it. The wines are really quite tasty actually. I admit, like I've had some Indonesian wines before and they're not great generally. But these ones, which are locally made, were really quite nice. Did it not different from Australian wine, but subtle, not overpowering. Sometimes some of the Balinese wine can just like hit you like a cement block and then you're like, oh geez, wasn't ready for that. But I really enjoy the wines. They've gone to the effort of creating all this lovely food, which looks delicious and tastes pretty good, but I'm so full from lunch. I feel like I've let him down a little bit there. But I've enjoyed the wine. I might have had about a glass of wine, worth of wine through the experience. But I enjoyed the chat. He was a lovely bloke and very enthusiastic, budding sommelier, and knew his regions and had plenty to say, and I enjoyed the experience with him. So if you're a wine connoisseur, and believe it or not, don't let the Singlet top fool you. I do love my wines. The experience of tasting some genuinely good Balinese wine is well worth a nudge. I enjoyed it. So I wasn't sure if I'd like the coffee tasting experience, but I'm really enjoying it. The guy is just so knowledgeable. I love hearing him talk and his passion for it. He's got so much to say, and he's been talking me through Indonesia's role, not just in coffee, but in the tea trade. So we'll be using this one here, which is Tanah Merah, which is a local Balinese brand. It's one of the most popular. I think he said it's the most famous in the area. And we've just been going through, the espresso was nice, but this breakfast blend is absolutely delicious. And I actually commented on how much I like the coffee at breakfast this morning. It turns out it was this one. It's paired really well as well. It's nice chocolates and prunes and nuts. Yeah, really enjoying it. And he's just going to make me 2 variations, an espresso and a latte version, so I can compare them with the filtered manual variant. So he's going through and getting me variations of all of them, so I can try them through the manual method, and then also through the machine to see the differences between them. So this is all the espresso blend in different forms. So there's no way I can drink all this. I'll be up forever. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you're into your coffee, I highly recommend doing the coffee tasting experience. So much information, really great tasting coffee, so different as well to anything I've had back at home. And the bloke doing it, super knowledgeable, really easy to talk to and get along with. And really enjoyed it. Now for this, you can obviously come up here at any time and get a coffee or some nibbles or some food. There's also a fridge here with beers in it, and different types of spirits and gelatos. There's a couple of gelato places that you'll find scattered around the resort. So you get an ice cream without too much worry. And obviously heaps and heaps of wine. Now for the sake of completion, I'll just quickly show you through here. So they do weddings here and presumably corporate events. So they do have a whole ballroom off to the side here. I'll show you later in this tour of the chapel, which is absolutely beautiful. So you've got a big ballroom in here, and obviously a reception area at the front here, provisioned with its own bar set up. for when such things are going down, which is not while my stay is here, which is good for me. Pretty good outlook, and you're starting an idea there of the kind of quick drop off you kind of get as the villas go down towards the ocean. And just down the back here, you'll see a set of stairs. Those stairs lead you back down to the spa area. All right, and that is the entrance area and lobby. So that's the view down there from the lobby area. Here's a quick view at the map. That's what I was talking about before. It's quite convoluted. So we've just come in down here from the lobby area, and you can see all the villas branching off left and right, left and right, left and right, down to the cliff edge where you're going to got Oliverra, which is the restaurant, the chapel, the spa is back up here. Yeah, so you can see the kind of maze that it is, but it is this main kind of thoroughfare. You can just walk all the way down if you like. It's a nice walk down, and it's a beautiful view. Tri Hati Karina is the Balinese philosophy that they adhere to here, which is the harmony between people, nature and the divine. And I should say as well that Uma is actually Balinese for rice paddies. So that's where the name kind of comes from, Umana. Okay, so my room is down here, so we're going to go to that. Okay, so here's my villa, number 106. Now, the villas are very similar to each other. In fact, I think they're almost exact replicas no matter where you go in this sprawling stay. But they differ mostly on location and view. So this is probably, in my estimation, the least desirable location. But as you'll see, the villa is still so spectacular. No, the whole villa literally starts there at the 106, and it goes the whole length down to that corner. It's all the villa, like my villa, for two people, set up for two people, a couple. So let's go have a closer look, and I'll talk through the humongous amount of positives and a few things you just might want to be aware of as you're choosing your room type. There's a whole different range of villa categories. Like I said, it's mostly down to the view you're going to get and to a certain extent location. So, you probably already guessed this is an opulent stay, and ties into the company or Umana Bali's desire to kind of meet luxury and traditional Balinese culture. So you get this water entrance over the pavers here. I've seen a few variations of this statue. I think it's great. An umbrella holder with a lot of flair. It's very cool. And sculpture here on the wall as well. The opulent pillars. And that's going to take you around to the outside area, obviously with the inside here. Now you'll note that everything is locked up. That is because monkeys are in the area. I haven't seen any monkeys in the resort, but I've seen a stack of them just outside the resort. And it is said that if you leave your things unattended outside, they may not be there when you get back. So something to consider. So we'll start with the outside, just because I'm sure you want to see it. It's pretty amazing. I do apologise that it's an overcast day. There's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. It was pouring with rain before, and tomorrow's not looking too much better. So I kind of wanted to shoot this while it was at least accessible. I think it's really funny that some of these, see how that tile's like just a bit out of skew? Every now and again there's one out of skew. I don't know why. I like it. It's kind of mixes it up. All right, so this is all your space, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? My jaw dropped to the ground when I first came out here. I couldn't believe how big it was. It's even bigger inside. Wait till you see that. So table and chairs out here and a smoking area for those of you who like to indulge in the old cancer sticks, the old darts. So a his and hers, or his and his, or hers and hers, whatever. Sun lounge experience out here. Nice big thick cushions. Pillow attached as well. It's actually really beautiful to the touch. Oh, look at that, little froggy. Hello. There you go, not a monkey, but still pretty exotic. That wasn't there before. An umbrella, which as a result of the weather I haven't required. Now over here we've got a nice big, this is under shelter. It's kind of really nice sitting out here before when it was pouring with rain because it's still hot. And you got this, I don't know, it's almost like a bar bench. And then stack of really comfy cushions. A big, thick, look how thick it is. Sun lounge experience on which to sit and look at the view. And over here you have your controls to heat up the spa. We call them spas, jacuzzi, hot tub. And you get power down there and also the heater. It does take a little while to heat up, I'm told, and it will turn itself off after a certain amount of time. Hot water will turn itself off after a certain amount of time as well. It's part of their kind of sustainability nudge, but it's very generous. I think it's 2 hours for that, half an hour for your shower. So it's not very deep, it's quite shallow, but it's great. Like, it's so awesome having your own. Every villa has this as well. No matter which category you get, you don't lose out on this opulence, which I think is amazing. It's a 1.4 metre deep pool over here with an infinity edge to it. And you can swim right up to your bedroom. We'll see that from the inside shortly. And you can actually walk around the edge here. Let's do it. I'll wade through. So this fountain, by the way, is on a timer. You can get it adjusted to whatever you want. You just have to ask them. The default is 9 PM to 9 AM, which for me is fine. It's good because obviously your bedroom's right there. Sneak peek. And at first I was like, oh geez, that's going to keep me awake. And then at 9 PM it turned off. Beautiful, isn't it? And this will actually lead you round to an outdoor shower. I'll walk around there. An outdoor shower and entrance into the bathroom, so you don't have to trope wet through your house. A bit overgrown, to be fair. Maybe it doesn't get used that much. A little sculpture out here. You can see right there. And just a teaser. There's your bathtub, extraordinary, which you can obviously sit in, and they've placed it with this glass wall so that you can look out. Well, not really to your view, but you can still kind of get some space and look out to it in a way that no one else can see in. So I think the design's amazing, and it's replicated throughout all the villas from what I've seen. I think there are some 2-bedroom options, there's some suite options, some really big buildings right down the cliff's edge for those who have the financial means. Now the only drama for me with these partial ocean views is that it's not much of an ocean view. And I realise that might sound a little bit, I don't know, like I'm undervaluing what is in truth a spectacular view. If you had this in almost any other hotel in the world, you'd be like, wow, look at the view. You can see a couple of tankers out there just spoiling the party. But when I first heard that, when I saw this is a clifftop villa experience overlooking the beach of Melasti down in Uluwatu, I did expect to really get an eye full of ocean. Now, to be fair, they are calling it a partial ocean view, but from where we are up in this part of the resort, you can't hear the waves and you can't see the waves. It's just a slightly different shade of blue over there. There's not much to look at. And indeed, when you're down at spa level, or indeed right down at pool level, that goes completely. And you're just looking at effectively a couple of roofs and some treetops. So just something to note. I don't think, as you see when we go inside, it's so spectacular and so beautiful in there. The villa experience itself is just amazing. But you just might want to have your expectations in check if you go for this partial view room. Because I walked out and I was like, oh, I can't see it. Like I thought I was going to be able to. Now also note that's a walkway down there to other villas. I don't see anyone walking on it. I don't think it's a high trafficked area, but that does mean that you're not getting full privacy up here. So for example, if I was standing where I was right now in the Nud, thinking I'm going to go for splash in my private pool and someone walked around that corner, they'd see something they really didn't want to see, even if I was okay with it. Same thing here. You can look kind of, oh, there we go. Timed that well. First person I've seen. You can also see straight into the bedroom from down there. And from what I've seen looking around, a lot of the villas kind of have that. So it still feels very private. Like there's no one really, looking down on you or looking in on you. But yeah, it's not completely secluded to the point where you can just do whatever you want without anybody being able to see. And the other thing I just want to say about this side of the resort is the road that goes down to the beach is literally just on the other side of that wall there. I don't know if you can see just through there. Now, it hasn't been making too much sound, but when it does make sound, it's bloody loud. Inside and out, because it's not well sealed, as you'll see. It's, it's traditional kind of Balinese wooden sliding doors. There's not steel with rubber seals. So, some loud trucks, some loud bikes, some things have come up the road, and I've gone, wow, that's really loud. Now, it hasn't been an issue at the important hours, like between, say, 11 and 7, even 10 and 7. So, it hasn't disturbed me when I've needed to sleep, but it isn't that kind of super secluded clifftop villa experience. I think it's because from up here as well, you don't get anything drowned out by the waves, which are quite sizable at the moment. So my take on that is that you really kind of want to probably be on a room that's just on kind of that side if you don't want to be able to hear any of the street noise, and ideally a bit closer so you can hear the waves and ideally get a better view. So that's just something to note in your selection of villas. I mean, these are obviously got no view at all. They're just looking straight into this tree. So there's variations, but let's go inside, because as you'll see, you can hear that, for example. Yeah, so it's literally right there. Which, again, wasn't what my expectation was. So kind of affected me a little bit. Now so you won't have that same expectation. But as you'll see, going inside the villa, it's got so much else going on, going well, that it may be a moot point to you. And I should say as well, there's also the main infinity pool, which you can, oops, didn't do it quick enough, which you can just go to the public pool and have a swim there if you want to. And it's much quieter there from the road, and you can kind of hear the ocean. Okay, so welcome to room 1. Huge living space, massive, crazy comfortable couch. Again, like everything's just super thick, super nice. I've just kind of plonked myself down on this numerous times. I don't know if they'll let you have a third person, a child or something in here. There's so much space. I mean, there's so easily enough space for 1, 2, possibly even 3 kids. But yeah, so you've got this huge living space in here with these gorgeous high ceilings. Love the lights. It's well lit at night time. Obviously you can just open the curtains during the day. The frosting is because the air conditioning's on and doing its thing. Beautiful rug. And I'll go over there in a second. What you can see here, some statues, a couple of books to read as well. Very, very nice, very opulent. Well provisioned, so much height, so much scale. Fantastic. There's a TV in here. It's got a lot of information. I've got the weather up at the moment because I was like, when's it going to stop raining? As you can see, not in the foreseeable future. Now, obviously, it's kind of an awkward TV position. It's useful for information, but it's not that useful for watching because the couch faces a completely different direction for obvious reasons. But it's good that it's in here, and you can just kind of lie that way and watch it if you want to be in here. But there's another one in the bedroom, which I'll show you in a sec. They provided a coconut on arrival, which I haven't popped yet, and some fruit, which I also haven't popped yet because I've been eating so much food in the amazing restaurants. The time will come. All right, let's cruise around the back here. So a few more statues up on display. There's a lot of these around the entire venue. Here's a big Sonos speaker that you can connect and play your music through there, which is great. We've got an office or desk scenario here that I like the fact that they've pulled this out so you can kind of see nice big soft cushions. And I do like that they face this towards the window, and you've got power down here as well. USB-C, USB-A, and they use those kind of new power points that I'm seeing in all the hotels now, which are pretty much just multi-nation. Like anything seems to go in there. My Australian plug just goes in there. My European converter went in there. My US converter went in there. It just seems to take it all. It's going to put the converters out of business. Here we've got a full dining table, and I've pushed this out of the way because I was working there earlier, but look at that. Awesome. Again, that kind of Balinese link to everything. So it's a kitchenette. It's just a very grand one. So you've got no stove or anything like that for cooking. There's no microwave, as far as I haven't found one. You've got a full sink. You've got all the glasses and bits and pieces. You've got a wine fridge. You've got a bar fridge, and you've got snacks here as well. Now all of that stuff is not included. You've got to pay extra for it. Obviously the minibar menu, if you'd like to see it, is not too damaging on the food. So you can have a cashew mix for $40, which is just under $4 Australian, for example. Coca-Cola is about just under $6 Australian. So, you know, for a resort, probably not anything less than you'd expect. The alcohol, however, is quite expensive. It's $90 to $9 for a small bintang. And if you want that, it's 160 Australian dollars, something like that. And at least it's Belvedere. A couple of glasses as well. Now, obviously some more finishes. I've been using these PowerPoints, as you can see, to do all my charging. They're very gracious with the water. There's a stack load of it. It's all through the entire villa. And they came and restocked everything. They put more in than I'd taken. And there's a heap of storage, which, as you can see, is more or less not used. It's more or less there to just finish it off, I guess. Nothing in there at all. As you'll see from the bathroom, it is certainly provisioned, so you could live here if you wanted to, but yeah, all empty. Potentially some plates or something like that would have been nice, especially if you wanted to kind of eat something locally or bring it back or order it by grab. Coffee here as well, and there's some tea. So pod machine, some tea. Now this says that you can go out there. There's your wild animals. The frogs might come and steal your stuff to a little garden, but I don't really know why you'd go out there. And there's this cupboard over here as well, which has, you guessed it, nothing in it. Okay, so that's just room one of what is 3 rooms of almost equal size. I should point out that they've done it to the air conditioning in here. There's 2 separate air cons. So here's your air con for here. It doesn't seem to matter what you set it to. So I'll show you. If I set it down to 20, it goes back to 23. But 23 seems to be fine. And through here, we have a little indoor-outdoor transition. Very nice. Love the floor-to-ceiling glass. In here we have a bathroom and powder room, or at least that's according to powder on the light switch. And so that's a separate toilet. Always handy, separate toilet. Obviously you can see the light switches are pretty clearly labelled. It's pretty obvious what you got to do. The master switch is the one you want. That's the one when you're about to go to bed. You go, that does it. I'm going to master. This has been really annoying me because I set it. I don't want it on 24. It's too hot last night. It won't change. I just cannot get it to change. No matter what I do, no matter what I set it on, it won't change. Now, to be fair, I did ring them up last night and say, look, is there anything I can do to make it change? And they actually sent down a technician at like 10 o'clock at night. He then tinkered away for half an hour in the aircon in the back. I was like, mate, don't worry about it, just go to bed. Like, you shouldn't be up doing this at this late at night. And he was like really cheerful and happy to do it, but I was like, no, I don't feel good about this, don't worry about it. Okay, let's head into the bedroom. So again, nice big floor to ceiling glass all the way around. This is all lockable. You can go out to the water. They do have a towel in there in case you come in this way, but I'd recommend going around the outside. As you can see straight down the path down here. So no opening up the curtains in the morning to look at the sun with nothing on, unless you want to risk it. Here's the second TV, which can be pulled out and angled. And that's just pointing at the bed because I was watching a bit of a movie last night. Another big open room here, lovely big top. And very comfortable bed, very comfortable pillows, as you'd expect. Just super plush, not too firm, not too soft. Woke up feeling great. Excellent bed. I haven't checked to see whether there's a pillow menu because the pillows are fine for me, I'm not sure. But down here by the bed again, you're gonna get the one power point, which the lamp's using, which is a bit annoying. But by the same token, you've got USB-C and USB-A direct anyway, and all those light switches out there. The wooden clock's a nice touch. Slippers by the bed. They've come in at least 2 or 3 times a day to clean it up and then to turn it down and then to close all the blinds for you and so forth. And here you've got your phone, and nice. It comes with like a little note. I just want to leave it like it was so you could see it. So a bit of inspiration for you to read at night. It's kind of a Bali thing, I've noticed. Here's a notepad and pencil. Now the only thing about this room that's been frustrating besides that air conditioning issue where I really found it too hot in here last night for a long period. It seemed to get cooler even though the temperature didn't change, but and also these curtains, these whole gardens light up out the side. It looks amazing, but does give you a little bit of light bleed, unless there's a way to turn off, but I haven't found a way to turn the lights off. Oh, and I was saying before, it's kind of got that, it's got the Bali seal down there. Although I will say I haven't come across any bugs, like mosquitoes and whatnot. Either in the room, you can see straight through it, right? So I haven't come across any of that, possibly because of the sea breeze, stiff sea breeze that's always coming through. Okay, but yeah, obviously, I mean, the view from the bed is, in this particular villa, is obviously quite unspectacular. It's just a jumble of trees, but I can imagine some of them you can open that up, especially the very coastal ones, and it must be something else. I'd love to see it. So here we've got a little makeup space, so you can turn that on. It all lights up. Can't remember how you do it. Pull that out. That's the angle. Oh, here it is. Hey, there you go. Put your face on. And in here we've got the bathroom. Big enough for you? How do you like that? Extra high ceiling, chandelier, big square pavers that go, tiles that go all the way up to the ceiling, thick stone bench tops, everything's built in, the sink's built in, PowerPoint built in, all the finishes are just high end and luxury and lovely. Same too with the taps, everything's just beautiful. Dual basin. You can close this off, so you can close the whole thing off. You don't have to have your bath in front of your partner if you don't want to. And over here, this is a magnificent bathtub. It's my size, that one. I love this as well. It comes with some incense, kind of ready to go. Candle as well. Just very nice. Think of that outlook out. So I think they've done a really lovely design there. That's where you can come in from the outside shower if you want. Obviously got the robes and again, the wicker baskets, that mesh of like ultimate luxury and Balinese culture. Knickknacks, paddywhacks, vanity kits, shower caps, no end. Okay, and now through here we have a huge shower. Love the sitting bench, fantastic, really, really cool. You got a rainmaker that's way up there, and you got a handheld one as well. They will both work at the same time, but the pressure definitely drops out if you do that. Temperature is okay, it doesn't go too hot, but it's not too bad. Again, all high class finishes, high class workmanship. Very nice, and look at that kind of frameless cornered glass looking out to the jungle. Anything it's going to see, and here's a monkey. I wouldn't put it past him either. So you've got pool towels, normal towels, and you're ready for something pretty amazing. Oh, it's amazing. You come up to the toilet and it goes, "Yes, sir. Give me more." And opens up for you. Useful if you're sitting down, otherwise you gotta keep going. What if you're a bloke? And then so many ways to gun your bum. You won't know what's happening. That's on the other toilet too, by the way. I just wanted to show you that, but I thought it'd make more impact if I showed you here. And you can order pizza while sitting on the loo. That's luxury. Now in the back here, a bit of a walk-in wardrobe scenario, I guess you could call it. Big bag bench, I love a bag bench, and so much storage. As I was telling before, you could move in here. There's more storage than I've got in my house for everything I own. There's nothing in here. A couple of hangers and just space galore. They're all pretty much empty. Yeah, all of them. Nothing in any of them, except for this one down here, which has a couple of hats, a his and hers, and a safe in case you need them. It makes a big point of saying, "Do not steal me. You can buy me if you want." And yeah, with mirrors as well. So those doors have mirrors on the back of them, just to help that light bounce around. Yeah, so how do you like that for a bathroom, huh? One of the best. One of the best, for sure. And that is a full look at the villa experience. This is the villa experience you're going to get in pretty much all the villas, bar those 2 bedrooms and I think there's a couple of suites, like I said. It's just going to come down to that view. As you can hear that motorbike going past, the sound from that road as being your differentiators on where you might want to try and position yourself, depending on how much it's important to you. But now I'm just going to jump you ahead down there to the main hub. Okay, so here we are up at the main hub area, which is beautiful. A little temple construct here. I love this tower in the middle. And I do apologise in the advance, there's a bit of wind up, so hopefully the mic's okay. So we've got a couple of things to see here. So over this side, we have the kids club and all the kids activities. So we'll start off, we'll go have a look in there. So I do like how conveniently close the kids club is to the kind of pool main hub. Let's have a look inside. As you'd hope, very, very clean. There's no one in here at the moment, obviously. I wouldn't film with our kids in here. So we've got a ball pit here with a cool balloon. Nice structure they built, actually. A slippery dip coming down into a ball pit. Very cool. Nice and cool in here. So some tables and chairs, I assume for craft, Lego maybe. Foosball table. Oh, there's more to this equipment over here. Some padded areas, little climbing wall. Some play bits and pieces. I guess these are all filled with bits and pieces. There's arts and crafts in there, paint. And what have we got through here? A funky seat design. The TV, he's got a Switch 2 down there. Otherwise he can play some games. Arts and crafts. Outlook out towards the pool and mum and dad. And a reading nook. Very nice. Oh, it's so nice and cool in here. Okay, And yeah, like I mentioned, I think it's great how close this is to the central hub. Sometimes the kids' clubs can be really tucked away in Bali, in really obscure places. Right, now up here we have the pad bar. So we'll go have a look at that first. I love it's been well looked after. I love the kind of manicured look. Hanging chairs are a great touch. They've got both a table tennis table here and a pool table, which is excellent. My kids would be ecstatic. I love it when they get access to a pool table. Yeah, a nice big sheltered area, great sea breeze as you'd expect coming off the coast. Nice cool area, lots of comfortable seating and couching. The bar's nice and relatively minimalistic, it's not taking up too much space. It's easily accessed from all sides. So I love the low couches here and gives you a good look out over the ocean. Nice chandelier as well. And as we head back over this way, we've got these ice cream like trucks, I guess. They've been around a few places. I haven't seen an actual price on them. I've seen them in a few places around the resort though. Happy hour, which is 4 to 7, Monday to Sunday. 2 for 1 on select cocktails. It's a bit of a bummer. It's not 2 for 1 on beers or wine or anything else, just the cocktails. That's something they could potentially look to improve. I don't like drinking cocktails, to be honest, most of the time. So I'm ruled out. And then over here we have the big public pool. This is quite handy, obviously. You've got a lot of rooms here, mine included, which really don't make any good use of the view. I've got, they call it a partial ocean view. I'd say it's an ocean glimpse. But yeah, you can obviously come down here. That's obviously a bit of a pain. It's not as good as being in your own pool, but you can come down here and you get access to this nice big infinity pool that does look out a lot closer to the ocean and the cliff top. You might even be able to hear some of the waves. And those light up, as you can see. You've got the flame spot on top. Towels available over there. There's no lifeguard on duty for those of you with kids. That's something to note. But they obviously do have this big kiddie shallow area with a bit of a buoys to stop the guys. There's a lot of space there for kids to run amok and have fun in. And then a range of not just comfortable, thick, cushioned sun lounges with two towels per night, sun lounge, but also a couple of more shaded cabana-like experiences at the back at the moment. If you're wondering why there's nobody here, we just had like a freak Bali rainstorm, and I think it scared everyone off. So I've just nicked out while the coast is clear to just show you what the experience is like with no one around, so I'm not in their faces. Now over here is your main breakfast experience, Commune, which is also somewhere you can have lunch. I'm assuming dinner as well. I've had a lunch and a breakfast here. Let's go have a close look at Commune. Okay, so the way that works with breakfast, they've got 2 experiences. They've got a la carte menu, some healthy cereals and fruits, and some Indonesian foods. Some morning favourites, including an Umana breakfast, which I've gone for. There it is. And some sweets. And you can have as much of that as you want. Or you can go have the buffet experience, which is up there, which I'll show you in a sec. I got an Umana breakfast because it was homemade sourdough with baby lobster and truffle scrambled eggs with avocado and caviar. How's that for a breakfast item? I can't believe it. So yeah, going to give that a crack. Also had a coffee, which I've already finished, which was very nice. So I'll probably get another one of those as well. Yeah, so that's how the kind of breakfast works. There's some really interesting foods on here too. I would have loved to have dived into some of the Indonesian heritage options. And some granola would have been nice as well. Still might get that actually. But I did want to try what the Umana breakfast was like. Alright, so let's start over here. We've got some recovery drinks.
Guys, this is our healthy drink. This is a recovery. It's named Jamu from Bali. And this one ABC juice. We made it from the apple, beetroot and carrot. And this one ginger bullets.
I'll try one of these. Thank you.
Pleasure.
It's good.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, so starting over here, we've got some health drinks to try. Coffee. Is brew, roaster coffee. Over here we have a bread island. Range of different breads to try. As well as various savoury options. Lots of different honeys. Look at the different honeys. Including the honeycomb. But yeah. So not a huge selection, but when you got the a la carte as well, a bit of naan bread in there. Chocolate bomboloni. That's in my future. Okay, now over here we've got a fruit station, sweet station. So you got some oranges, not very orange, but dragon fruit. And then a couple of local dessert options. Huge range of nuts and dried fruits. So there's muesli, granola. It's apple granola. You can also order granola off the menu. Alright, then we'll have a look at the hot foods. Here we've got some of the orders that have been made, prepared. So it's less so about kind of an omelette station and more about the a la carte. We've got bacon, let's get a sourdough bread by the way. Bacon, chicken sausage, grilled tomatoes, a hash brown, it's a funky looking hash brown. We've got a noodle station here as well. So you can get your own noodles made up. And over here we've got roasted cabbages, potato. Oh, I've never had one of these before. We have one of those. Barbecue chicken looks great. And this is the traditional Balinese. These are great, these things. Nasi jingle as an option. And yeah, so that's your kind of buffet experience to choose from. Now over here, at the end of the order section, at the end of the main bench, I've got probably my favourite area. It's got a whole bunch of fresh juices. It's got some yogurts, some virtue muesli if you don't want to get it off the menu, some cheeses, cheese seed pudding, and over here, check it out, some sushi, yes, and smoked tuna, huge fan, and a couple of other cold meats, and then some salad items down the bottom. Very good. One of the things I really love about this buffet at Commune Umana Bali is just how much local food there is to choose from. You know, I've been really able to experiment, and I love that. I really love that it's not very reliant on just classic Western staples. It's actually much more reliant on local foods, which talks to the philosophy of the place in general, but it makes for a great breakfast experience, especially over multiple days when you can really try some things. Interesting way they've done it with the really in-depth a la carte menu with some really interesting and delicious things on it. And then the light buffet experience around that, so you can just kind of get a few things and bits and pieces yourself and just try a few things that you might not be able to pick up on the menu. I really like this approach. It's much better than just throwing stacks of food onto a buffet, much of which will go to waste, allowing people to kind of choose. And despite being quite full, there's still plenty of seating around as well. So yeah, quite enjoy the Commune Breakfast experience. Okay, so I'm here for lunch in the Commune, and I'm doing a kind of a set meal experience here called the Archipelago Rijsttafel. It's not really spelt like that, but that's Rijsttafel bit, that is. Yeah, so it's an interesting concept they got here. It's a set menu, but I'll show you now. Yeah, so it's a set menu, but it comes with all this stuff. So I guess it's going to be a bit of a tasting platter experience, and it's all local Indonesian stuff. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be very, very delicious, I'm sure. And it was extremely hot on the walk down here from the villa, but in here it's nice and cool and lovely. As you can hear, there's plenty of music playing. Really nice space. I love they've got these are in the rooms too. These beautiful tall ceilings, these giant chandeliers. I've got some really comfortable lounge-like seating here, bench seating. It's actually quite low, even for me. I'm huge. I'm like 194 centimetres. But obviously there's seating on the other side, a couple of other cool little booths over here, and I can actually see the ocean out the window there. I don't know if it's coming through on the screen. So yeah, nice digs, good setup. And now I'm really looking forward to trying this food. I've actually worked up quite an appetite this morning.
Welcoming crackers from the chef. Also accompanying with the 6 selection of the sambal. So the first one we call it the sambal ulek, so it's the Balinese sambal. The second one will be sambal plecing, so it's coming with the shrimp paste. And this is sweet spicy soya. This is peanut sauce, chicken curry, and also the pickle. This is the balado crackers, peanut crackers, and also the bitter nut crackers. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. So these are quite yum. So a little bit of kick on this side, especially that last one is quite hot. And these are quite delicious as well. I'm already very much enjoying this. I love being able to experiment and try new foods when I'm overseas. Oh wow, look at this.
Right, the first one is the beef rendang. This is the chicken satay. This is, we call it the soup. So the fish bowl with the prawn. And also this is the boiled egg. This is the sambal, same with this cracker sambal. This is the chicken, salad. Also this is the sambal matah, we call it. So this fresh salad with the lemongrass with the chili. And this is the prawn.
Okay, so take a look at this. I can barely fit it in a frame. I'm so excited. So, Archipelago, is obviously different islands, right? So this is, I'm assuming it's going to be different dishes from different parts of Indonesian islands. And the Rijsttafel part of it is to do with like family food. So just this experience, I believe, that's how she explained it to me anyway. Although my pronunciation's probably lost now, but this looks so fantastic. It comes with rice as well. I don't know how I'm going to fit it all in, but I'm telling you, I'm going to. I'm so excited. All right, let's go. Righto, so I'm assuming it's best to start with the things that are supposed to be hot, right? So I'm going to start with the soup that was also listed as a starter, even though it's come out with the mains. Big prawn in it. It's amazing. Oh, it's delicious. Okay, well, I've officially gone around a plate and tried everything. It's all so good. It's just such a real diverse sense of flavours. A few things have got a bit of a kick to them, but nothing that's going to blow your head off. And I'm not very good with hot food. So if it's okay for me, it's definitely okay for you, unless you really can't handle it. And yeah, real adventure. Just trying to get which is my favourite. Now I should point out as well that this is, I saw on the menu a portion, it says it's for 2 people, so I just assumed that they would, I'm on my own, that they would portion it back to a 1-person amount, but I think they've provided the whole 2-person amount, so hence why it's so big. It's easily enough for 2 people. I'm probably going to be greedy and eat it all anyway, because I don't know what I'm going to next enjoy such great local food. This is probably my favourite. It must be the beef rendang, I guess. Satay chicken was really lovely. This curried egg. I assume it's a curried egg, some sort of curried egg. All good. Salads are really intriguing. This one's probably got the most kick. It's the onion dish here with a bit of chilli in it. But yeah, really great. It's a real adventure just exploring it all, and it's been prepared very well. Just to write a kind of, tenderness, I guess you could say.
There is some fruits, and then this is we call pisang goreng, the fried banana fritter, and then the purple potato dumpling with coconut milk and some jackfruit on the top, and this one palm sugar. Yeah, the palm sugar you can use for the banana fritter or the dumpling.
Okay, awesome.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much. Okay, so the dessert's looking nice. There's a lot of it. I'm definitely looking forward to trying it. Fruit looks amazing, doesn't it? Really glisten on it. So fresh. some fried banana, pudding over here, some sugar sauce to go with it. Okay, so the selection of fruits quite nice. Oh, it's lovely actually. It's all very ripe and feels like it's in season. Actually quite nice after all the, what's the word? Complex Indonesian food, to have something like that to kind of just hit the palate. Yeah, look, fried banana is nice. It's a little much for me generally on the middle of a hot day, but it's still yummy, there's no doubt about it. And it goes really well with this. She called it a sugar sauce, I think, but it's a little bit like maple syrup. This is my favourite though, this is delicious. Really yummy. The texture is just so different to anything that we get home in Australia. So all good, but yeah, this is the one for me. Okay, well I'm back having lunch again at Commune. This time I'm having some Vietnamese spring rolls with later a crispy chicken burger. They brought out all the crackers again. Big servings, aren't they, for a starter? We've still got a burger to come. Well, the spring rolls were absolutely delicious, and now the burgers come out. Look at the size of that. You probably just needed one or the other. Anyway, looks great. So I've liked pretty much everything I've eaten here at Umana Bali, but I think they've missed it here with the chicken burger. It's advertised on the menu as a crispy chicken burger using organic chicken. And it came out, it's not crispy at all. And it looks to me like chicken mince patty. So it doesn't quite have the expectation of flavour. Can't really taste the truffle or smoked cheese either. It's yummy, but it's not exceptional like everything else I've eaten here, and not what the menu suggests it is. Also, the chips, well, I really like chips, but there's no actual salt grinder. You've only got this, which you can't sprinkle over chips. Big solid crystals. So yeah, it's definitely going to fill me up, and it's not. It's tasty. It's just not what I thought it was going to be. So I probably would stick with something a bit more local. I think they had nasi goreng, for example, which was my second option. So yeah, that's the central hub area. It's a really nice part of the resort. Done a great job. I'm glad they've got this. Like I said, it's a much nicer experience view-wise down here than it is from certainly my room, and I suggest some of the others, just looking around. So it's great that there's a space that you can come and chillax, bring the kids, and like I said, I think they've done a really smart design here with having the kids club, you know, right there, so close to where the parents are going to want to be when they've got some time off. Righto, so there we are at the entrance to the main hub. We'll head down here, and like I mentioned, it's not really the kind of resort where you need me to do the usual full walking tour that I do, because the vast majority of it is winding kind of connection of pathways that lead to these opulent villas, which are, take up a significant part of each piece of the terrain. But just for your own interest, you can see the slope of the hill here. Coming down as we head towards the cliff top. Also, just a nice thick vegetation, lots of flowers everywhere. I have seen monkeys outside of the resort. I haven't seen any in the resort as of yet. It's really hard for me to kind of ascertain exactly how many rooms do have like a clear and nice view. They all do face in different directions. So it's a little bit challenging from that regard to really give you some feedback on which villas are best. Obviously I can just show you my villa. But I do get the impression that a significant number of them probably don't look out on anything as amazing as you might hope from a clifftop villa resort, but some certainly do. So you're going to have to be, I think, very specific when you're booking as to what you want, and I can only assume the better views are going to cost you more. Due to the spread out nature of the resort, those kind of, obviously all the staff are using the buggies, but also they'll come pick you up from wherever you want to get picked up, right? So you don't have to walk like I am now anywhere. Morning. That's under the pool, right? So that's the infinity pool. we go. So you can pull up there. Yeah, but as you can see, it is quite a slope down. It's easy enough to walk down, but in the Bali heat, but you can probably make out it's so thick with vegetation. You can see these villas here. You're going to, yeah, they're all, yeah, it's very hard to pick which one's going to have the view that you might want. So, alright, so we've got the chapel I want to show you, and Oliverra, which is one of the fine dining experiences here. There's quite a few actually. So we'll head, give a quick look down here. Alright, so I'll jump us ahead to the chapel. So just a note, so once you get down to about this part, so this is below the pool, villas 124 and 214, either way there, that kind of area of the map, I can start to hear the waves. So I can't hear it up at my room, but once you get down to about this level, you can start to hear the waves, which I think is a lovely sound to be able to hear, so it's something worth noting. Here come the dudes. I think it's a good spot to show you because you can see here the height difference in the tiers, right? So that's villas on the upside and villas on the downside. So it's high enough that you're just going to be seeing the peaks, the tips of the houses, and a bit of jungle on the other side. But it also, I think it's important to point this out because from down here, you can kind of see into the room, not much, and the pool. So it's not like, like I'll show you when we do the full villa review, but they're awesome, they're extraordinary villas, but you won't be gallivanting around the front nude if that's your thing. So I've just dropped another level again, and you can see another run of villas up there, and then dropping down to the next tier. So I actually think it's a really fun layout. Really cool. Obviously there's a lot of up and down hill, but you don't have to walk it. Now this round here is the chapel, which has a great spot overlooking the clifftop. So they obviously do weddings here. There's a ballroom up the top and the chapel down the bottom here. Right over the clifftop. It's spectacular positioning, isn't it? Look at that. Really nice design with the water around the arch head, which is typical of the many chapels in Indonesia. And then yeah, look at that. I love this. This is beautiful. I wonder if it's open. It is. Well, let's go look around. Yeah, so I've actually been to a couple of chapels in Bali, and they've got a very similar design to this. The triangles, the ocean views, water around the outside, glass, and you can see down to the beach from there. Yeah, so really beautiful chapel, great space. So out here on the outside of the chapel, we've also got a nice big grass space and a bit of a stage. So they must do some events down here as well. There's been nothing on while I've been here. And here is Oliverra. It can be accessed from this side or from the other side, which is a clifftop dining experience. Oh, I can tell you, as soon as I walked in here, the smell's fantastic. So here is the entrance, way down here, and you can see, no doubt, through, straight to the ocean. Looks spectacular. Let's go inside and have a look. Actually, I'll just take you for a quick tour while it's not in action. Have a look at the ironwork here on the side. Love the curves. It's huge, thick stone. I'll wait till you see it from below. But yeah, such a beautiful design. Just looks so organic. And obviously makes the most of the view. Here's the chandelier. Great colours. And there's bits and pieces like this around everywhere. Little feature pieces. So there's a little bar up here. You can see, hey mate. So with some wine options. Some sitting and some lounging, so this is not when you're dining, I presume. Look at the view. Oh, that's a good wave. It has a little outside area as well. Inside outside bar, nice. Yeah, so you can come up here for happy hour. They do the cocktail 2-for-1 deal here. Great spot for sunset. Sunset's roughly that way. Oh, there's a heaps more seating down here as well. Look at that. Sensational. That's the top floor. So intrigued by this sail ship down here. I have to take a closer look. Beautiful. Okay, and let's have a look downstairs. Love the rug. So this is the proper dining experience. Have a look at the way they've done this concrete flooring, like the shapes of a clam or an oyster. Beautiful. So you got booze at the back here, all the pottery, and a range of intimate tables. Really well spaced out, aren't they? There's a lot of, it's not crammed in, which is good. I'll take you outside in a sec, but let's just have a quick look through here. So there's a bar in here, and yeah, more seating. All right, I love the chandeliers as well, or the glasswork, and bar through the, you can see the kitchen through the other side. Lots of wine. Yeah. It's a restaurant that befits the location, doesn't it? Okay, and a quick look outside so you can, so they do sunset out here. So you can have a sunset dinner. And again, very intimate and really nicely spaced out. So you're really not in anyone's face at all, are you? All the way around. If you want to fight against the humidity, you can come out here, although I've got to tell you, it wasn't too humid last night, it wasn't too bad at all. Once that's, there's so much sea breeze here, it's just not like other parts of Bali. Alright, that is a quick tour of the glorious Oliverra restaurant here at Umana. Truly beautiful building. Now let's go see what the food's like. Okay, well let's have a look at the menu for Oliverra. You can see here, it's just got a little bit about it. It's a Mediterranean restaurant where bold coastal flavours meet open flame techniques, bring the feeling of the coast to the table. Hint of Middle Eastern spice. Subtle smokiness, it adds character. All sounds good. So I am going for the Oliverra signature 3-course set menu. See what we're getting here. And a mousse-bouche, a carbonara del Mer, charcoal grilled stockyard stiploin, and a coconut meringue are on the menu. And yeah, there's a 4th course option, as you can see here. So it's an intermediate course, and some artichoke. I'm a bit surprised, to be honest, at the set course. I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess French scallops, but yeah, I mean steak never really strikes me as awfully Mediterranean. You know, like grilled octopus and things like that, maybe. Now, if you don't want to go that, there's a whole bunch of other options. Obviously, a lot of seafood. Including a lot of Australian stuff, some cheese and cold cuts. Vegetarian from the ocean, we've got some seafood risotto, fish of the day. We've got some braised Australian beef cheeks from the land. And specialities include lobster and some fresh barramundi. And on the sides, we've got some chips, asparagus, baby carrots, a few bits and pieces, and the desserts include tiramisu, souffle, baklava, and that coconut meringue that I'm having. So that is what you can expect from the menu. Oh, there's a kids menu as well. Chicken soup, fish of the day, about $18 Australian. Happy Sunday, about $15 Australian. So a little bit of a kids option. Now we also have the drinks menu. I just wanted to quickly show you, I mean obviously got mocktails and waters and coffees and various bits and pieces. I want to show you the Mixology Creations. That's kind of their jam. Spicy mule. Oliverra sangria. This bootlegger looks interesting. Whiskey, Southern Comfort, Galliano and Aperol. Cheers. And homemade lemonade. I think that's the one I'll give it a go. I'm going to give one cocktail a go. And then you kind of got all your classic liqueurs and spirits, and there's wines as well. They actually have some, like we can see, some Australian, New Zealand wines. Actually got some really good local wines. Okay, so here we've got a little starter. It's actually quite elaborate. It's not what I was expecting. It looks really good. There's an arancini here. I couldn't quite hear what she was saying. She was talking through them all, but obviously some breadsticks, some sort of local crisp, and I feel like she said it's had tuna in it. It doesn't look like it, does it? All right. I love these little. What do you call them? A bowl? Very cool. Here comes the bootlegger. So is this a drink that they invented here? Is it like a Oliverra drink?
Sorry?
Is this an Oliverra drink?
Yes, Oliverra drink.
Yeah, I've never heard of it before.
This is one of signature here.
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds
Please
great.
enjoy.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to try this drink. So I went for the bootlegger. It also had ginger beer, homemade ginger beer and homemade lemonade in it, as well as the Galliano, Aperol, whiskey and Southern Comfort. And a big block of ice now, served in a very cool bottle. It's amazing that the strongest thing that comes out of it is the ginger beer. Really tasty and very refreshing. I like it. Okay, so the little starters are really nice, actually. Really, really nice. I don't know what the little cube was, but it was fantastic. I wish I'd heard what she could say, what she was saying, but it just talked very quietly, so I couldn't quite hear it or make it out. But it was delicious. Arancini ball was really good. Chips are nice. Very elaborate, kind of. It's not the starter. It's kind of like the precursor. What do you call it? It's like the bread, right? It's good. So the lovely waitress just went and checked for me, and she said it's just called tuna toast, like fried toast with tuna in it and some sort of garlic sauce. Seems like a very generic name, but it was absolutely delicious.
So this is for your first starter. It will be carbonara del mar. It's come with 4 kinds of seafood. It will be octopus, tuna, prawn, and also mussel, and finish with carbonara sauce and top with caviar.
Oh, amazing.
Please enjoy.
Thank you so much. Really intriguing mix of textures. So they've got all these different kind of seafood in there, but it's not thinly cut. It's like quite bold and thick and textured. So you're getting a real good chew of it. Seafood flavours there, but it's definitely not strong and overwhelming. It's kind of like smothered a little bit by the sauce. It actually really works. I've never had anything like this before. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm honestly tempted here to lick the bowl dry. I really enjoyed that starter.
This is for your main course. It will be stockade strip loin MB5, accompanied with a pickled eggplant and also celery puree, and finished with red wine chew.
Thank you.
Please enjoy.
So it's medium rare. Looks pretty bloody, but that's not too bad at all. I don't mind that. Sides, yeah, look, it's a pretty small portion, isn't it? But pretty full, to be honest, already. Looks really, really good. All right, let's get into it. So diving into the main here, it's been really well cooked. It's a really nice cut of meat. It's a little bit, well, it's just the meat, right? So it comes with some rind juice, It's a red wine juice, but no sauce, no peppercorn or mushroom sauce. I swear I said it had mushroom sauce, but I got confused there. And no one's come and cracked any pepper or anything like that. It's just the meat, right? So it's very meaty flavour, but it's cooked so nice that it still just kind of melts a little bit into your mouth, and texture is really, really nice. It's good, and the vegetables have got some really interesting flavours with the sides, kind of almost like a juice filled. So that kind of adds to it, accompanies it really well. I think I would have liked just a little bit more flavour in the meat itself, rather than just being meat. You know what I mean? Can't deny it's a good piece of meat. I can't deny it's cooked exactly like I like it. But in and of itself, it's just a little bit, lacking in flavour. Well, this is the last piece. Gotta admit, I'm gonna miss it when it's gone. It really grew on me, this steak. It's really yummy.
So this is for your dessert. We call coconut meringue, accompanied with mascarpone cheese, coffee jelly, and also topped with coffee ice cream, and we cover with coconut meringue.
Okay, thank you. So dessert has arrived. It's all been quite quick fire, to be honest. I think it's because I'm eating a bit late. There's no one else here. There's a couple of people outside, obviously. So I've only the last bite of steaks literally couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 minutes ago. But here is the dessert. Love the presentation, looks great. Love this bowl. Check out this serrated edge. Quite a complex design here. See how she tastes. So diving into the dessert here, I think this is possibly the weakest link of all the food experiences I've had. It's not bad. It's pretty. The texture, it's a bit full on. It's a little bit abrasive. It's also very, very coffee flavoured. So I don't mind coffee. I like coffee, but for a set menu item, it's an aggressive taste choice. So the kind of meringue kind of sits on top, and then you've kind of got a few elements around the bottom which they're a little bit dry with the way they crumble in your mouth. And the ice cream's almost like a bit more of like a sorbet. It's not a sorbet, but you know what I mean? It's a little bit, it's not creamy. It's not quite working for me like the other courses did though. A little too strong, I think. It hasn't quite got that subtle touch to it that the other dishes had. Inventive though. Well, sadly my time here at Umana Bali is coming to an end. I say sadly because I've thoroughly enjoyed my experience here. As I've gone through the tour and spoken to you about the bits and pieces and everything there is to do with this place, I've identified a couple of things that potentially could be a bit better or weren't quite up to the peak standard, but overwhelmingly it's all been awesome. The staff experience has been great. The villas are extraordinary. Really, really a special opulent stay. I've really enjoyed the dining. I think the food experience here is excellent, and I've really enjoyed the activities, the village walk, the Lohma Spa is amazing. Doing the wine tasting and the coffee tasting, and just going down to the beach to see the fire dance and explore kind of down that way. It's an overwhelmingly great experience. I think it's potentially better served for couples more than anything else. I think kids could have a good time here, but I think it's definitely a bit more set up for couples. Maybe young kids, if you've got like couples that might have a toddler or something like that they can put in the kids club. But I haven't seen too many teenage kids, for example. And you just want to be a little bit careful about choosing the type of villa location that is going to meet the standard that you're up for. But I love it. I think the Umana Bali, which is part of the Hilton LXR Hotels and Resorts chain, is one of the great stays you could have here in Bali and certainly in the Uluwatu region. Anyway, I'm Chris Dead. Thank you very much for watching. Keep an eye on the channel. Always putting up content from Bali, Indonesia, and all around the world. If you subscribe, you'll be the first to get it all. I'm self-funded, so it's the best way that you can support me. Anyway, until next time, I'm getting back on the road. You.